It's so shameful that in Nigeria, people take laws into their own hands. Yes, because why would they lock Senator Natasha from entering the NAS office yesterday? So now Aisha Yusuf, Peter Ike have come out to actually blast the police. Like, these people are fearless. They are blasting police on their faces. That they are being used by our politicians, and they're not being paid well. They're not being taken care of well, and they are still playing the dirty games for the politicians. Just take a listen for yourself. Let me go to this in the comment section.
President of this country, Nigeria police will be proud that they are police and law enforcement officers. Of course. But now, you are just tools in the hands of politicians. Your salaries, your uniform now, they so. Una charge sheet. Even for police station, generator, fuel, they don't get money to buy. Moto, no get petrol, now old vehicles. But yet, politicians are using and misusing you. Look at what the Senate President is doing. An illegal suspension of a woman. Out of 109 senators, only 4 women. Yeah. Before he sent that petition to the committee, Akpabio was on hot mic. He said, send her on suspension. Let the sergeant at arms take her out. He unilaterally suspended Natasha before that committee, headed by Senator Bernard Maswe. Now they say courts don't give order. He don't go appeal. The appeal was not done by the Senate. Yes. It was done by Akpabio. Yes. It was not done by the Senate. Yes. Hajia, please go ahead.
I'm not even going ahead. You are saying order. Her hand is on this thing, waiting for order to give. Is it here?
They will give her order to go tear gas.
2018, police went to rescue kidnapper in Taraba. Military officers attacked convoy, killed 3 officers and civilians, and then the kidnapper escaped. That is the country that we live in. Law enforcement officers were killed by military, and kidnapper managed to escape. And this is the people standing here. Nigeria is not a real place. This injustice will not be sustained.
It cannot sustain.
And my generation will fix this country.
Yes. By God grace.
Under our watch, Nigeria will be
by God grace.
Former governor, former Senate leader, former commissioner, former NDDC minister, you are not okay. Only one woman.
Only woman. You know the shame? You know the shame? Only woman. You are fighting a woman.
Akpabio.
Akpabio, you know the shame? It is only woman. Woman you are fighting for.
Guys, as it is now, we not go fit explain how Nigeria be. We not go fit defend the country when we come from again. Tinubu and his cabinet don't totally destroy the country. It be like say Tinubu and his cabinet get Nigeria for mad before they come into power, because we not deserve leaders like them. The same Tinubu now, that's the contest for 2027. The same Tinubu now, that's the plan of how to buy power for 2027. What a country! Because say blood not flow for 2023. Now make these people still get mind to come into power again. Many Nigerians know say Tinubu go be one of the most worst and terrible presidents when Nigeria go ever produce. Now make the fight against APC for 2023. Somebody like Just Adeto and many more when come they shout every day say make Nigeria not support Tinubu. Unfortunately, the same Tinubu use money bring himself to power, and his group of gang when they carry Nigeria they go deep also. If Nigerians not fight now by 2027, if these people enter power again, the way the first take mandate will not be their own, is a pity. Everything will finish, because as it be now, Nigeria be like country when not get front, you not get back. Everything just scatter.
A married woman, your age says she's wearing transparent clothes. How can you sexually harass a woman publicly? You said do not talk like this because you are not in a nightclub. Akpabio has no ethical grounds to be Senate president. Before the committee went, he said put her on suspension. So Akpabio decided to unilaterally suspend a senator who was elected like himself. Shame on him. Who gives him that right? Let the world know that women's rights in Nigeria are under attack. Women's rights in Nigeria are under attack. We have only 4 female senators. One of them is being persecuted, suspended for 6 months. No Senate appeals the ruling.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Politics Today. I'm your body secretary. We need to pray for His Excellency Mr. P. The man is under serious pressure, and we believe God. He will not bow to any form of deceit. He will not bow to unnecessary pressure and destroy his political career. If P2B makes the mistake of accepting to run with Atiku as vice president, both of them will not even win, and again, P2B will destroy his political career, and the Nigerian people will not forgive him. We have had enough of Atiku. What we are suffering now, what the Nigerian people are passing through now, the person that should accept the blame is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. This man puts his personal interest above the national interest. Atiku Abubakar lives for himself and for himself alone. Atiku Abubakar does not care for the Nigerian people.
Everybody who's seen as an activist now, especially with our history in this country, is almost always second-guessed. You know, what are your real intentions? Are you doing this for your personal gain? Are you trying to really fight for the people? What got you into this? Was this an organic sort of move into activism? Was this something you intentionally, went through because of how you felt about our situation in the country?
Okay, so basically when you say activism, what does it basically mean? Yeah. It's like an agitation for what you know is supposed to be, what is right. And over the years, we've realized that the way the Nigerian politics goes is like once a party takes over, the other party just sleeps. And they are supposed to be, like tailing the government and then being on their neck. Yeah. So the opposition doesn't even exist. That word doesn't even exist. So it's like, I'm a citizen of Nigeria. I know what my rights are. I know what I give to the government. They tell us to come out to vote. So after the election, nothing happens. So we have to come out to speak. So in the course of speaking, it is either we say it aggressively, we say it to catch their attention, we say it either ways that they have to get it. And activism is just one of the fastest way to get the government's attention to do what they're supposed to do. So for me, the whole spirit woke up when I had a baby girl, like, all my kids are boys. And I'm like, does this seem like this environment is safe for my child? Does this seem like this environment is safe for all our children, basically? And it's like, it's becoming a norm. And then the time has come where we just have to continue to agitate for what is right and let the government do it, because we have to create a better environment. If you're not a mother or you're not a parent, sometimes you don't understand how sensitive it is raising a child in an environment that is not safe or there is no certainty for your children. So when you become a parent, particularly having a female child with everything that is going on, you just have to look for a way to get what is right for your child and for our children generally.
So when did this start for you?
I think it was during the NSAS. The whole agitation started during the NSAS when I just felt like this thing is becoming like a scam, because all that time there was lockdown, and then I had this emergency in my ammonia plant, in my gas plant, and then I had to just leave the house. And leaving the house, I saw that we're on lockdown and everybody's at home, and basically the activities out there is just like there's nothing going on, So the government was still doing their own thing normally. And then we are just here, and I basically saw some police officers using government vehicles, to move passengers, and they were making money. And I'm like, excuse me, what's going on here? You told us there's lockdown. We are at home doing nothing, not earning anything. And people are here, And that time I was pregnant of my daughter. And then I had to accost the police officer. He cocked his gun like, well, I'm like, shoot how? I took it off him, and, everything blew up all over social media. And that was when everybody started saying, oh, okay, so this woman is really, really an activist. And then during the NSAS, my daughter was the same child that was raised up, everywhere. And that rose a lot of national awareness, so it became like an international concern for me. Like, we still understand that you always talk like you always talk. Now that you're even coming on the street and you're coming with a 3-month-old baby, this is something that is different. So everything just started about, the NSAS and then the lockdown period.
Yeah. Were you ever interested in politics? Were you ever a political party member? What was life like before, like you said, the gun incident happened?
I'm not a politician, and I'm never interested in politics. But at one point, I've had to support, people who have your own vision. Like, you feel, if this person wins, this person can also be able to feel your pain and do what is supposed to be done. And I think that was during Jimmy Agbaje. I was all out like, this guy is a pharmacist, and then, our health system is down, the children are down in hospitals and all that. If this man wins, the health sector can begin to, have a better face value and all of that. And that's the only time I've ever supported any candidate. But politics, no, yeah. I've never been.
So, but a video went viral recently where, because for a lot of people, activism is activism. You're fighting for the people, regardless of who's in power, right? If you feel passionate about a cause, you're trying to, make sure the government does their part. Especially like you said, if they campaign and make promises, it's their time to deliver on those promises. The government the party in government now is the APC. The party in government, when the NSAS happened, which you were very actively protesting against, is the APC. And we saw a video recently where you were endorsing the APC. And it got people wondering, which is why I talk about skepticism with activism. What happened? How did you get there? Did you have a change of mind? Not saying that you don't have a right to, but did you have a change of mind, and what informed that video that we saw?
Okay, so basically, if you look at that video closely and you look at the way I agitate and the way I attack the government, a lot of people say, just like they told you, you're too rude. These people are old enough to be your father. And I'm like, come, these are the same people we write petitions to. These are the same people we write letters to. These are the same people we speak out to. We cry on their neck. I remember during the lockdown when they were breaking into homes and then raping children and all that. I don't know if you remember. I was on the national TV crying like, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, do something. People, you don't get the attention when you come like you're a normal human being, because they feel like these people, they don't have a right to come and challenge us, to come and tell us this is what they want. So I became a little bit more aggressive. And people say, you're insulting the governor and all that. And that has been my pattern, you know. And that pattern has put my life at a huge risk and my family life at a huge risk. So, you know, it's like my husband is from Lagos. I am not a Lagosian. My husband worked with the government closely, you know. And I'm like in the middle. All the royal fathers, whatever, I'm like my father-in-laws. And I'm like, I'm against their government, you know. So when I get home, the pressure will be like, talk to your wife now. What does she want and all that, you know. Let's offer her this. I would never bulge. So I said, okay, let's go another route. So I did a video. I said, Jagaban is a scam. According to, let it not be me alone. Let it not be my opinion alone. According to our opinion, this man is a scam. His name is a scam. His education is scam. His income is scam. Nigeria itself is a scam. I had to first break down because sometimes when you're looking for solution, you have to first break down the problems. You know, so I had to first break all that down and said, okay, are we giving the country to this man who we feel is a scam? He suits the country. No. Everybody, go get your PVC. But you know the way social media is. People will not even patiently look at it all. And then the next thing I saw was, they've given just Adeton 100 million. She has board. She's endorsing. I would never endorse Tinubu. I'm saying it loud and clear. He's my father. My husband worked for him closely. He's like my father-in-law. I call him my father, and he remains my father. But I would never support his political ambition. I would never do that.
Why?
Because I feel you lay the lives of people down for your own personal career. If you say you deserve to be the president, why didn't you come in at the right time? You used the whole nation to play a game. You used us to play chess. You waited and you try, like you're matching and patching and patching. Okay, you brought Buhari. Immediately after Buhari, I'm coming. No, it doesn't work like that. You don't know Buhari's mind. You don't know what his intentions were. And during the NSAS, when we the youth came out, when we wanted a better Nigeria, when we wanted our voice to be heard, you blanked out. You left us. Jagaban acted like he wasn't in existence. Whether they were using, he was sick and all that. And at that time, I kept on talking, and all the message I got, Baba said he's sick, and you are insulting. You are sick does not mean you can't lend your support to the people.
I'm just trying to get something clear here, because I don't want to make this about a person in particular. Because
it was all about him, basically. It wasn't even about the party.
Yeah, the issue here for me is basically, you know, when the lines are blurred between activism and politics. I don't know whatever your personal issues are with him, but I'm just trying to understand, you know, the video, how do thousands of people misinterpret a video?
That's the
because
thing.
you lost over, I think, 10,000 followers.
No, 12.
About 12,000
12.
followers.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
There must have been something.
Because when I came, the way I relayed the message sarcastically, people didn't get it. They just thought, Tonda will come and say, you this governor, your head is this. And today she's coming to say, let's endorse. A lot of people got it. I have 312,000 followers, and I lost 12,000. So it was like I lost the crowd, and the same people who understood me and still understand what I stand for still stayed back. And that's just the social media. Facebook, I didn't have that. I didn't lose one follower on Facebook. So everybody just thought, this same tone that is always talking about Jagaban and his team and APC government and this dispensation like this, how come she's making a U-turn? They've paid her. No, I'm still me. I would never forget the wounds that we incurred during the NSAS. I would never forget how bad this country has been and is still at this point. And the point is, I will never jeopardize my family interest or personal interest for a national interest. So at this point, my stand is still, I would never endorse Jagaban to go for presidency. Other people can. I can decide to take my candidate tomorrow. But because I know how he has been in the journey of politics, I don't think I would want to. So a lot of people got it all wrong. Like, oh, she's made a U-turn. All this.
Do you think it's wrong for you to get involved in politics?
It's not wrong for me to get in politics. It's my right to get into politics. But
after being an activist?
No, I have a right
whilst
to.
being an activist?
I have a right. But I think the problem with Nigerians is people feel because you're an activist, you should tell them what to do. No, we have no right to choose a candidate for you. Our right is to agitate for what is right. Because everything about all the comments on social media was like, it's you, we have been waiting for you to come and tell us who to vote for. No, I will pick my candidate. I will choose a candidate when the right time comes. But that doesn't stop me, you know, from saying that this is my candidate because I am an activist. No, I'm not going to do that. It's my right. I have to vote. If I have been craving for people to get their PVC, I also have my PVC. So we're going to peg a candidate down.
Where does activism stop and politics start? Because we've seen so many people. I've been on this show for over 9 years now, going on 10. So I've had lots of people on this show over the years who I know are now in government at different levels, you know. And, you know, a lot of them sounded like you. I'm not accusing you of anything.
Yeah,
but a lot of them sounded like this back in the day. You know, very passionate, fighting. And 2-3 years later, we realized, oh, okay. This is where this was leading up to. So where does the line get dropped?
You know where it changes, like you said, is the risk involved, is the lives online. It gets to a point, and I have also gotten to that point, like when you keep agitating, they come to you. They want to know, okay, is she like, okay, this person wants to come into politics, and if you have that intention, you will budge. I can say it loud and clear that I've gotten 3 offers to run for vice presidency in this same incoming election, and I've said no. So there's always a point. There's always like that peak point where your life, they start to threaten you. They start to say you're not supposed to say this, you said this, and they offer you. And I have gotten all those offers longest time ago. So this is not the right time for me, or the wrong time, or this is not even the time for me. I have stated it clearly. I'm never going to go into politics. Whatever offers they've brought, I've always turned it down. You know, I woke up in my room in Dubai the other time, some few months ago, and I met politicians at my doorstep. I don't know how they got to know I was in Dubai. Same thing in the UK. So people, activists go that route. But for me, it's a no. I don't have intentions. Because you know why? Whatever you can do in politics, you can do it outside politics. Because once you get into politics, the thing is, you cannot beat them. You have to join them. You have to do it the way they do. It's a cabal. It's a system.
But
it's an institution.
True, like everybody says you can't change from the outside. There's a reason why that saying continues to go on. You have to come in, infiltrate the system, and change it from the inside.
I don't think so. I've always told politicians who came to meet me like, join us, you make change. I said, I would rather make change from my space. I would rather make change from the space. I have created a space for myself, and it's to continue to say what is right. About 3 weeks ago, I was coming into the country. I saw the air conditioner at the airport was not working. I came out, I started screaming. I came in yesterday back into the country. The AC is working. Do I have to get into politics to make change? You don't have to get into politics to make change. It's a cabal. If you get there, too many things are happening.
But we live in a country where I don't think we've ever had a dearth of activists in our history. We've had the military for years. So we have activism in our blood because we've constantly had to fight government. Everybody will tell you that things are getting worse every day. So is activism really changing anything?
It is. It is. Trust me. It is. And I'm going to say this. One voice, 1 million votes might not make change, but one voice will make change. 5 voices will make huge change. And every voice is the only thing we have. That's the only inheritance we have. All our national treasures are gone. The only thing you and I have is our voice to make change. So the voice makes changes. For me, maybe the way I've been doing it, everything that I've said has been corrected. Everything that I've said has been corrected. Every complaint I make, they always come say, okay, come. On International Women's Day, they had to bundle me into the National Assembly and said, okay, come.
Let me give you an example. Sorry, very sorry to cut you off, because you talked about everything you said have been corrected. We all protested in SARS. You were very active with that. SARS was scrapped, right? SWAT is there. With the stories about SWAT now are equally as deadly as SARS was. So what has changed?
Now, for the NSAS, I'm going to say this. The change was so close. But how strong are we as agitators? Because the time when we should come to the round table, everybody backed out. Everybody ran away because nobody wants to be held down. Some people say, my child, don't go, this. But they're calling us for, okay, you see, let me tell you something about change. Change, the voice of agitation has to be consistent. It's not that there's an event, everybody comes out and starts shouting and start doing this. If we were persistent, we would have gotten it. If we sit down at their doorstep, but did we do that? We didn't do that.
People were shot.
One person will die. I'm never scared to die as an agitator.
But not everybody can afford to want to die.
Then that means we're not ready for the change. That means we're contented with the way our country is.
So how do you change that? Whether you like it or not, it's not just a Nigerian thing. Around the world is the reason why protests, when they get deadly, get stopped. We've seen it in Hong Kong. We've seen it in places, even in the United States. Once people see guns, it's natural human instinct. So how do you tell the average Nigerian to... You said, you have to sustain the protest or your campaigns or whatever. How do you get people to do that?
The way to get people to achieve what we want is we have to keep changing the dimensions of agitation. At a point, we all gathered at the NSAS ground. Do you understand? Your people were killed and everybody left. That still doesn't stop us from talking from our own space. But some people tell you, they're going to block my page, they're going to come and... Let me tell you something about politics today. You see these people called politicians, they are scared of we citizens. And we citizens are scared of them. That's the problem. A lot of people have not been able to identify that the politicians are scared of us. I remember during the NSAS, the only thing that was making Buhari panic is like, these people are taking over my system. And he was at a huge unrest. He was scared. He was worried. And look at us. Common military came, they shot, everybody ran home.
It's not very common, but...
It's not very common.
You said common military. I don't know if they're common.
They are common military. I didn't say anything special about them because that has been the same pattern they use. They don't have any new strategies for us.
I think we have about 20 seconds to go because we have... I want to say, in the election season, what can we, as we're all supposed to be activists, right? What can we do?
For this time, I think what we need to do now is for us to all have a common interest and a common mind. Because if you look at the Nigerian youth, we are divided. Our concentration is totally divided. And I've been hearing a lot of politicians, like really and truly, they know how to win elections. So now, I think this is the right time where everybody should feel this, our same generation, where we call this Orosoke generation, all of us should come together. Let me tell you something, Ebuka. Mechanics know where they meet. Engine oil sellers know where they meet. Pepper sellers know where they meet. All of these people, you and I, where do we meet to discuss national issues? We don't have.
So finally, I mean, you have realized that your words have power. Are you going to change how you deliver your message? Because sarcasm obviously doesn't work.
No, that was the first sarcastic.
So have you learned from that? And you realized how it was misconstrued?
Yes, I've learned that, and Obviously, whether they like it or not, I'm just going to go back to my old style. Let's keep dragging each other. We're going to keep dragging each other because basically that works for me. So this sarcasm, people don't want it at all. And you know the truth about it.
All right.
It helped me. You know why it helped me? This same pressure that is coming from the family side and the outside social media side, they were able to identify that, okay, truly this is the situation of this candidate.
Like that first video where Peter and Aisha was saying things, like, I love that courage because they were telling policemen on their face on how they should be covered with shame. That's a government that don't care for them, but they still use them. And they still work for the government. They are still obeying every call from the government. Someone that don't take care of you. You remember that Sowore was holding a protest that they should increase the salaries of our policemen to 500k, and then these policemen are not being taken care of. They don't have food in their vehicle. They don't have food to eat, but yet they'll be playing or they'll be doing the dirty jobs for the politicians. Yeah, they don't pay them. So what is now the essence of you doing the dirty job for the policemen? Because that's just it. You cannot be working for someone that's not appreciating you. The government don't appreciate our soldiers, our policemen. They don't do that. They only appreciate our senators, our House of Rep, and our other politicians. That's all they do. They don't appreciate the people doing the main job. So how dare you, or how will you still be obeying the calls for doing the dirty jobs? That's what Peter Eke was actually saying, and Aisha Yusuf, because we saw it in the video. And then come to the second video, where a man came out and then was saying something about that why they should not vote Atiku, why they should vote P2B. That's to show you that Nigerians have chosen P2B over anybody. Atiku, El-Rufai, Amechi, Tinubu. P2B is the one Nigeria chose. You saw it last election. Everybody came out for P2B. Everybody, both the north, the south, the east, Fulanis, they came out for P2B. But the main issue we have in the north are the northern leaders. They don't want power to leave the north because they know what they are benefiting from it. And then what of the masses? What of the other people that are not in politics? How are they being fed? Are they feeding well? No, because the children, they are all beggars in the north. They don't have food. Their parents can barely take care of them because the parents can barely take care of themselves. Talk more of taking care of somebody else, because you have to be healthy first before you can have the strength to cater for your family. That's how it is. And now again, that third video where Tinubu came and was saying things about activists, that's the raw truth. We Nigerians are not ready to take back our country, because if we are ready to take back our country, why should someone be allowed to be bribed with small money to do something that you know that is not right? Because on the video where Edo State Governor was threatening P2B, people were gathered there. Those people are also paid. They were hired. Then why will you allow yourself to be hired to be paid to cool? It's more change for you to come and do something you know that is not good, and then tomorrow you are crying Nigeria is not good, Nigeria is not good. When we are ready to get it right, then we will get it right. But for now, Nigerians, we are not ready to get it right. Let me go to a video in the comment section. I got my video. If you are new, subscribe.